So last I left you creatively, I released an album called God Complex, which was a collection of Greek gods singing their greatest hits. And then life happened. I became a father, and my mom died, which is very difficult. And Donald Trump was elected president, which was extremely difficult for everybody. And so, you know, I had these big life changes, and around the same time, I also had this amazing opportunity to get back together with some friends from high school that I played with, the guys that I grew up playing music with. And, you know, it was an amazing thing. We've all agreed. We got back in the room. We hadn't played together, I think, in 17 years, and it was magical. And I was just transported back to my youth. And that kind of stayed with me. And I wanted to do a new album, but I had really bad writer's block. Nothing was coming out. I also started checking out all this music from when I was a teenager, and all these albums that I couldn't previously afford to buy. One band in particular stuck with me, and it was a band called Bracket. I highly recommend you check them out. They're essentially, I would call them the Beach Boys of punk rock. I really wanted to record this alternative rock album, you know, go back to my alternative rock roots, punk rock roots, but I just couldn't get anything out. And then the pandemic happened. And yeah, you lock a musician in a room with a bunch of instruments, and it turns out they write music. So all of a sudden, things just started coming out. And things that I had wanted to sing about for a while explicitly. The division in the United States of America. This album will explore the different facets of division in this country. Racial division, religious division, political division, climate change. This is kind of my Willie Nelson moment. I'm usually the guy that just writes songs and has other people sing them, but when you're locked down in quarantine, you don't want to have anybody over at your house. This is my kid's blanket when she would sleep in daycare. This is the little man. It's actually not a man, but for some reason my father decided to tell my kid that was this thing's name. I have no idea where it came from, but this is like my kid's favorite toy. So the little man is all over the videos you're gonna see. A little later you'll also see my kid's little, what we call guitar, but it's like a cheap ukulele. I haven't worn pants in a long time. I should show my pants. Look, I'm wearing pants. Does anybody wear pants anymore? Man, I can't remember the last time I wore pants. Oh my God. Guys.
Nice.
What's up?
I wore a jacket.
I think we met each other when we were like 11 or 12. Oh, Joel, I think you and I met when we were 11. And Mark,
yeah, we were in like wood shop in middle school.
Yeah, Mr. Redden's class. Part of the idea here with some of these songs is I really tried to write songs that the teenage me would like and the teenage Mark and Joel would like. But we might not be able to play them, seems to be the general verdict.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of like 13-year-old humor in those songs.
Yeah. Well, but I'd say like in my CD, you were asking about my CD binder, there was a lot of ska, surprisingly, and punk in there and pop punk and stuff. And I think that drove a lot of, at least where I came from. I was like, hey, let me bring in this punk and all the alternative, the Nirvana, all that stuff. I feel like that was more up our alley in terms of what we could play. Pop punk was like Rancid, Green Day. Alternative was, Nirvana, Soundgarden, Smashing Pumpkins, and then there was ska, like a little bit on the second wave ska was like English Beat, Specials, stuff like that. So I mean, that was kind of my jam. Those were my three like big, I'd say, influences in terms of music.
Something I didn't mention is that was a huge influence on this album is Bracket was actually the last concert I saw with Mercy Music opened up for them, and I know you're into them, Mark.
Yes.
Another really fantastic band if you haven't checked them out. Oh, so good. Put on an amazing show, but yeah, essentially, we were in a small club, packed together in February, and I was right there. Got to see Mercy Music and see Bracket. So I think for me as well, Part of the sound of this album is me trying to be Brackett. I mentioned there was something special about that Access TV network. Well, that's where Alex Jones, the conspiracy theorist, got his start. And so we're loading up the van after playing, and he confronts us. And Joel, you seem to have a really good recollection of this.
I remember you confronted Alex Spunk. You came up and you wanted to get him to, I don't remember what exactly you said to him, but he started yelling at us. He just started ranting about, you could go back and play your rock and roll and eat your Snickers bars and get fat and forget about freedom. And I just went off on this tirade, and we both just stood there. I think we were like 16 or 17, just like like white as a sheet, and we just started laughing at him.
Another memory I have was we used to play this place called the Bates Motel.
Oh, yeah.
And they would book us on Monday nights at like 11 o'clock at night. And I think we were like 17. Who in their right mind would let 17-year-olds play in a bar on a Monday night? Alanna.
Hi.
Chair meow. Who should I call you tonight?
Oh, Alanna's fine.
You look lovely.
Oh, thank you. I took inspiration from what I knew of your presentation.
We wrote an album together.
Yes.
And we wrote a birthday song together.
Yes.
And then we've just been in each other's lives. And, just like the two gentlemen I was talking with, those two guys and I, we have a special connection that I don't understand. The three of us are very different, but we have this connection. And you, I would say it's the same thing, You and I are very different, but we've maintained this very special connection throughout the years. And you haven't...
Against all odds.
Yeah, you haven't shut
Against all odds.
You have been an incredibly important person throughout this whole process. Well, in my life in general, but also for this album. You were the first person, with the exception of one song, who heard every song for the very first time.
Yeah. I was privy by accident, kind of, but then you had a steamroll of creative output that could not be denied. And that was awesome to see.
Little Girl, that song, and Cry of a Divided Nation were two songs that were the only two I got out before I had my writer's block. And I sat on those songs for, I would say, years. Like, I suck. I can't write anything. And they were, in shambles, and I was trying to I just couldn't do it. And then again, I got locked in my room with instruments. And all of a sudden I was like, can't go outside. Guess I'll write some music. I would be like, Alanna, did you hear that chord sequence I used? And you're like, whatever. Those words, that was an interesting rhyme. And maybe those words, you want to choose some other words. And, maybe these words don't work so well. And just your ear to words, I don't know, you've been listening up until this point. I don't know if you've seen, but there were changes in words because...
Oh, no, I like your words. I mean, audience, Monk likes to complain that he can't write, but I find that he's quite a
words. I'm okay with music, just words.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, thank you.
I feel like you cover a lot of potentially cliche and loaded in only one direction topics, and you do it with subtlety and finesse and poetry. So thank you. I really enjoyed listening to your album. And
Well, thank you.
I like getting to know you as a wordsmith, because although you're in denial about it, there's definitely something there.
The album cover is a knockoff of the Trump flag. And if you take a closer look at the divided states words, they're actually states. So it's kind of the double of actual states and looking like it's broken.
I love your album because it's so, it has momentum and dynamism, and it's bursting with energy, and that's kind of how I think of you, actually. So.
And to this day, What is the song that I'm known for? It's the damn birthday song.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Isn't it a TikTok?
It's everywhere. It just won't go away. But it's a good thing. It's a lovely song, baby, that we made. And,
It is a nice song, baby. I agree.
Without further ado, Fascinoma with It's Your Birthday.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. It's a great day. That's what we say. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Monk.
Thank you.
Do you feel a sense of relief? Do you guys feel postpartum yet, or like how are you feeling?
It's kind of a postpartum where you have a baby, and then as soon as you're leaving the hospital, you meet someone else and you hook up with them right away to have another baby. Let me explain myself and what I mean by that. Knowing how I am, I can't just sit there idly by, so I have actually went ahead and wrote another album. Almost done, just putting the finishing touches on a new
Awesome.
couple things here. Just need to do a couple things, but so I can announce this evening that in the very near future I will have another album. It's just about ready to be reviewed by the critiquers, including yourself, Alanna. I would love to have you be a part of taking a listen and giving your thoughts on it. Not quite prepared to share what the concept is, but we'll share that, yes, there's a new album
on the way already.
After this one already.
Well, your postpartum is very brief.
What am I supposed to do? I'm stuck in my house.